Let's assume now that we are going to round a larger number, like 17,242. So what digit is in the thousands place? Well, you should be able to see that it's a 7. So automatically, that limits us on what the two numbers are that this is going to possibly round to. If I'm at 7,000 right now, and then I've got the 1 in front, then the smallest it could round to is 17,000. What would be the next 1,000 above 17,000? Well, you should be able to tell that that's going to be 18,000. So automatically know it's going to be one of those two answers. The answer will either be this or this. Now, here's the clue. Again, we want to think about our midpoint, right? What is halfway in between 17,000 and 18,000? So if you just think about this number for a moment, what is the first number past 17,000? Well, the count starts all over again. 17,001, 17,002, 17,003, all the way up to 17,999, which would be right before 18,000. Okay, so really we're dealing with ones, tens, and hundreds all over again. So from 1 to 999, right? Okay, so if I'm going to be counting that way, and then a number is going to get all the way up to 999, which is in the hundreds, then that means that I am looking for the next digit over to be a 5. Well, if I put a 5 in that location, that's going to make my middle number be 17,500. So now the question becomes, where does 17,242 come? Well, I see there's a 2 right there, and I know that 200 anything comes before 500 of anything. So 17,500 is going to fall somewhere between 17,000 and 17,500. Possibly maybe about right there. That could be 17,242. So obviously, when we look at our two possible answers of how to round to the nearest thousand, we can clearly see that since the number 17,242 is between the bottom half, we know that it's going to round to 17,000. Now, some people will say it rounds down. The reason why they say that is because when we look at a number line, it is going this way. Okay, it's going down the number line instead of up the number line. Okay, that language can be a little bit confusing because some people hear the word down and they think that the 7 should go down to a 6 and be rounded to 16,000. So don't get confused with that when you hear the phrase, we round down. Okay, now we're about to discover and learn the rules so we don't have to draw a number line anytime. You should recognize that anything that is from 0 to 500, okay, is going to round down or round to the lower 1,000. Okay, so what does that mean for this digit right here, this 2? Okay, because that's the place that is immediately to the left of the number we want to round to. Okay, well, that number to the left alone determines whether it's going to lie in this first half or the second half. If 500 is in the middle, then everything in the lower half is going to be a 5 or lower. Okay? 5 or lower. And actually, technically, it can't even be a 5 unless it's right on 500. If it's 5 or higher, it's going to round up. So that means that the very smallest whole number that could be right before it would be 17,499. So anything from 17,000 to 17,499 is going to round to the lower 1,000. Okay? So that means that when we're looking at this digit, as long as that digit is between 0 and 4, then we know it's going to round to the lower. If we had the number 17,773, we're rounding to the thousands again, so we know it's either going to be 17,000 or 18,000. The number directly to the right in the hundreds place is a 7, so it's in the 700s. Well, here's 500. So the 700s are clearly going to be higher than that. So that means that anything that falls between 5 and 9 are going to round to the upper 1,000, okay? So we know that after we look at the digit to the right, we know that anything on this side is going to fall between 0 and 4 for the hundreds. And anything on this side is going to be between the 5 and the 9 for the hundreds place. So we kind of look at the place we're asked to round to, and that just helps us know what two answers could possibly be our answers. But we do know that the actual digit we look at to make the decision is the one place value that is right before it. So in this case, since we're rounding to the thousands, that tells us that we have a choice to round to either 17,000 or 18,000, but we actually look at the digit before the thousands place, which is the hundreds, to tell us which side of the midpoint it falls on. This should help us as we learn the rules and fill in the rules in our notes for rounding, which we'll do in the next video.